All right, we are live. It is Yoga with Janna in the Body Kinetics community. And I must say, it's quite a beautiful day today. So let's practice. Come to a seated position. So we can't deny it. Spring is on its way. We are in the final weeks of winter. Got the full moon on the way. Prana, energy, life force is building. The days are getting longer. And all we need to do is be present and notice what is. The beautiful green color right now, it only lasts for a few months, right? So every year we say this, get out on the hills. And there's the green, and then there's also all the colors of the flowers that are coming up right now. And Mount Burdell up there in Nevada, one of my absolute favorite places to visit this time of year. So I hope you get out and enjoy this weather and get connected to this energy. And also been taught over the years by many wonderful teachers. And one of my teachers was a complicated teacher of mine. However, even from the complicated teachers, we learn. And this person offered in the spring, or at this time of year when the spring is approaching, and we're still in the winter, you want to look for inspiration. And, sometimes it takes a little while to get that energy going after a winter. And right now, if we go out and we go up on a high place, she suggested get up in a high place with an expansive view and take in the view, and you will not be able to not be inspired, right? So you will be inspired. So you go up in a high place, take in the expansive view, receive inspiration. Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll practice. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Root yourself into the earth, get seated, get connected, and rise up through your spine. As you rise, roll the shoulders up and back, placing the shoulders broad, and lift up through the back of your skull. From the base of the skull up, all the way up to the crown, and then relax the facial muscles, and your eyes and even your eyelids can close, and you put your eye gaze down, even though your head is still lifting. And as you soften the eye gaze toward the heart, on your next exhale, also soften your very low frontal ribs down. Get rooted. Inhale, rise up, expand, shoulders roll back. Perhaps the sternum lifts. And when the sternum lifts, just take your inner gaze a little bit upward. You're not tossing your head back to look up in any way, but because you're rooted and you lift your sternum, the gaze has this somewhat upward diagonal trajectory. So we're looking out beyond the perceived horizon that we see right now. And open your arms wide. Now open your eyes and turn the palms slightly open toward the sky. Bend your elbows to shoulder height. So perhaps we could, it's like a W shape. We're waiting, right? We're open. We welcome inspiration. Inspiration, we breathe in. Another word for the in-breath is inspiration. We inspire. And then when we exhale, we expire. The breath leaves and takes with it that which we no longer need. And we inhale, we are inspired. And we exhale, we release that which blocks us from being inspired. One more time, inhale. We're inspired. And bring the hands again together at the heart. Lift the elbows a bit. And just relax the shoulders, the neck. Move your head a bit. Just draw little lines with your nose in the space in front of you. When you're seated again in your center, perhaps there is an intention we set to open to that which is beyond the perceived horizon, that inspiration. We open to that. Share the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Inspire. Exhale. Hands to the lap. Bow your head towards your heart. Release any tension. The neck, shoulders with a big breath in. Good. So we want to have the breath really moving in and out the whole time. Perhaps you can breathe through your nose. Perhaps you can float the head up now, opening the throat and developing that ujjayi breath. There's a circular space that you form with the muscles of the throat, and the sound moves through this channel like wind through a tunnel. And there is a suction action that happens because you're using your diaphragm. If you can't quite understand where your diaphragm, you can't feel it, bring your hands to your frontal low ribs. And then right below that, protected by the lowest ribs, is the diaphragm. It sits right below the heart. And it looks like this. It's kind of like a pancake that droops on the sides, right? And so then this muscle releases down. When it inhales, it actually expands down. That's its muscular action when you inhale. And then on exhale, it just kind of comes in and flattens in under itself. And the more you can use that, you'll actually suction your breath in such that it will sound like wind through a tunnel like this. Relax the shoulders and bring the action down low. A couple more rounds, just practicing your ujjayi breath. Some say it sounds like waves. Another amazing place to get expansive views is up in the Marin Headlands. That's where I was yesterday. And I did have that experience of the wind in the tunnel. I was the only one in there, and the sound and the power of the wind. It was so powerful to be in that place, be rooted to the earth, but to feel the wind, the sun, and the ocean. It was incredible. Open the arms to the wonder, the W. What other words begin with W that are inspiring? Welcome, wonder. Inhale, take the arms all the way up. And hands to the heart. Into the W, the welcome, the wonder, the wings. Inhale. Point the tips of the shoulder blades toward your heart. So you're kind of digging in there a little bit. Reach the arms up. Now take the backs of the hands together. So just see which hand is in front. I've got my left in front, just acknowledging, and then lean to one side, press the backs of the hands together. Inhale up. And exhale to the other side. Yeah, opening up the side ribs, come to the center, release the hands, lean back, switch the cross of your legs. Take the arms up, inhale, go to the W, the wonder, the Y, the welcoming, the wings. Inhale, tips of the shoulder blades to your heart, turn the sternum up, reach up. And now it's your opposite hand crossing in front. So for me, it's my right. Have the backs of the hands together. Have a big inhale and arc to your right. Good. Inhale to the center. Arc to the left. Inhale to the center and release the hands. This time's palm open on your lap. Roll the shoulders up and back, up and back, up and back, up and back. Open the arms to the W. Reach up all the way. And one more time here. Hands at the heart. Big breath in and out. Ujjayi breathing. It takes concentration. That's part of the practice. It's a warming breath. We're opening up our core just by doing that. And now we're going to do that opening of the core, stimulating the core on our hands and knees. So meet me there. All right, it's a time of transition right now. I saw some butterflies in the Marin Headlands yesterday. The cocoon. We've been in a cocoon, not just for the winter, but almost a year now, right? Sheltering almost a year. All right, so it is a time of unfurling and transformation. And at the same time, we still need this cocoon time. So let's build some core energy, like we're wrapped up inside ourselves. On hands and knees, root through finger pads and knuckles. Claw the floor. Reach the right leg back. Inhale, big breath, ujjayi, knee to nose. We're doing 5 of these, so a total of 6. Inhale, reach back. Ujjayi. I'm on number 4, number 5. Getting the pump going. Number 6. Put your knee down. Raise your arms up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale the right hand to your hip. Inhale, reach up and over to the side. Stay for just an ujjayi breath here. Exhale, rise all the way up to center. And left hand to your hip. Inhale up and over to the left. Big ujjayi breath. Come back to the center. And hands to the floor, tabletop position. Engage your core by clawing the floor and pressing down through your feet. Left leg back, inhale, exhale, knee to nose. You know what to do. 5 more, inhale. I lost count, but I think I'm on my last one here. Knee comes down. This time, pull back to child's pose. Turn the palms open toward the sky and sense and feel. Notice the energy in your hands, in your belly. Perhaps you can feel the warmth coming from the inside to the surface. Let's do a little different one again on hands and knees. Finger pads and knuckles root down and claw the floor. That gives your wrist a lift, energy rising. Pressing down through your feet helps engage your transverse abdominis, your low belly core. Hug in, cocoon. This time, bird balance, bird dog. Right leg back, left arm forward. Now we're going 6 times knee to elbow. Exhale. Inhale, count. Keep going. Knee to elbow. You reach out and then you cocoon, you curl in. I think this is my last one. And knee and hand come down. Reach the right arm up to the sky. You can come up on your left fingertips. Just look down as you reach up. Look down. Have another breath. And sweep that hand down. 2 hands on the ground, setting up just like we did. Root, push into the earth, and then rise. Left leg, right arm. Inhale, knee to elbow. You know what to do. Keep going. 5 more. Ujjayi. Listen for that sound. And when you're complete, both hands down, both knees down, reach the left arm up. You can come up on right fingertips, look down, breathe in, breathe out, bring that left hand down, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, root rise. Rock yourself side to side, stretch out into the backs of your legs. Have a few breaths, develop ujjayi. Keep moving, stretch it out. This is a pushing exercise. We're pushing into the earth. You can unshrug the shoulders, but keep pushing. And as you push, you rise. You push into the earth, you root, and you rise. You get a rebound. And the hips rise higher. Inhale, come up as high as you can on your tippy toes. Soften in between your shoulder blades. Keep working here. And let's walk the hands backwards toward the feet, coming into a bent knee forward fold here. Cross your arms, hold your elbows with your fingertips and sway. Find that breath. Spread your toes, root down through the ball of foot, the inner outer heel, the little toe side. Got your roots, and then you rise, push down, rise up, reach up. Bring the arms in the W, the welcoming, palms are open. Look out on your horizon, wherever that might be in your space right now, or an imagined horizon. Look out into the distant horizon. Bend the knees a bit so you can root some more. Push into the roots, rise, lengthen, shoulders roll back, tips of the shoulder blades in your back, lift through the sternum, and notice if your gaze naturally goes up and beyond the horizon. Keep lifting through the back of the skull. Take the arms all the way up, reach up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, stretch forward. Exhale, fold into your legs again. Do that 2 more times. Just reach that heart forward, stretch. Exhale, bow, bend the knees a bit, reach the heart forward, hold 3, hold 2, lengthen through the spine, hold 1, root the tail down, rise up, reach up, and hands to the heart, walk to the front of the mat. Okay, so if you like lunges on the knee, you might like your blanket. I'm going to move mine. I'm going to do high lunges for this flowing sequence. Some of you might like the knee to the ground, so keep your padding handy. Also interesting is having blocks handy, because even though, I can reach the floor, that's my dimensions and flexibility, having blocks gives me opportunities, possibilities, and I wouldn't know unless I had them handy to try it, right? So looking for inspirations, I'm just moving my mat a bit there to get ready. We'll meet at the front of the mat. Looking for inspiration sometimes means taking paths that are new for us, right? Like we don't know, we're not sure. Yesterday I ended up on a path that I didn't really mean to go on, and it was not really where I wanted to be. I was okay, but I really had to focus, and I had to be really, really mindful of my steps and where I was going, and got through it. So you never know, right? Where you're going to be, and you look for inspiration and then focus. See where you're going to put your feet. Get rooted before you go along, right? Okay, thank you. Let's get to the front of our mats and just bend your knees a little, swing your arms a little, and that'll give you some feedback, right? You can feel, maybe rock your feet a little bit, and then stand tall, rooted down. You rise, lengthen through the side body, shoulders roll back, lift through the back of the skull. Arms to the sky, inhale, bend the knees and make the W. Look beyond your horizon. Mhm. The elbows can be slightly forward so the shoulders have a little more play. Then roll the elbows a little more forward than the hands, and the tips of the shoulder blades will poke your heart up. And maybe even you can look up, little mini back bend. Exhale, fold to the floor. Inhale, look out, perhaps using blocks. Exhale, fold again. Rise up, root. Take your arms up. Inhale, exhale to the heart. Sweep the arms. Let's get some energy building again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look out. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, rise up. Looking way out. Open to inspiration, hand to heart. Inhale, root, we rise. Exhale, fold into the earth again. This time moving to lunges. Look out. Bend your knees. Knees come towards your chest. Now take the right foot back. Before you rise, root, push into the earth and rise with the feedback you get from the earth. Pressing your feet down and toward each other. Take the arms up into the W, the waiting, the wonderment, the welcoming. As you press your feet down and toward each other, zip up through your core, lengthen up, shoulders roll back, tips the shoulder blades to your heart. When you lift your sternum, your gaze might even lift. Not so much that you flip your head back. Now reach up through the back of the skull and reach the arms to the sky. Cross the arms so the backs of the hands touch again. Notice the effect. Backs of the hands press. Perhaps you can lower down into the earth a bit more. Big breath. Exhale, fold over your front leg. This might be good time for blocks. Bend your left knee so you can square your hips off. Lift your belly up over your left thigh. Put all your weight down through your feet and notice the effect. Roll the shoulders up and back, up and back, up and back. Coming to the front of your mat now, you might float your right leg high before you step all the way to the front bow. Leave the blocks there. Push down, rise up. Take the arms up. Land in your heart. Pause to feel. What happens if you just relax your way down into the earth for a moment, and with a big breath, hug into yourself, drawing close like a caterpillar inside a cocoon. Bend the knees inside that cocoon, nice and tight. Sit back like you're bumping your bottom back. And the W, like you're poking the sides of the cocoon, waiting, wondering. You're inside yourself. Pull in from every place outside to the in. And perhaps just opening the upper back, looking up, and exhale forward. Fold again. Lift your heart high. Look out and left foot back. You might take your blocks with you. Press down, root to rise. Hands can go to the hips at first, or you just take them into that W, into the waiting, into the wonderment, the welcoming. See what happens. Can you find that lift that comes from behind your heart? And then you stretch up, cross your arms with the opposite one in front. I should have reminded us to remember. Maybe you can feel it, hugging the backs of the hands together. You activate that center, that cocoon around your center, and exhale, bow over the right leg, straighten the right leg, pause there. Yeah, bend your right knee a bit so you have a little more action in your hips. You can level your hips, lift your belly, and bow over that right leg. Get a nice long stretch through the back leg. Breathe here, 3. Shrug your shoulders up and back, 2. Release all your weight down so your hands are light, 1. Moving to the front, bend the right knee and perhaps float the left leg for a moment and step it up. Bow forward. Root to rise. Draw in, cocoon inside yourself, and expand toward the light. Release the arms down by your side. Pause to feel. Let's add the downward facing dog plank through the flow of chaturanga or no chaturanga, perhaps not. Cobra or up dog, right? It's the same action that we do in the W, but we do it in more close. Yeah, the shoulders go back and everything hugs in tight. All right, let's see what we can do here. We'll add in from the lunges to a flow, and we'll keep going. Hands to heart, root. Like, how would you hold yourself if there was a big wind blowing you? And how would you stabilize? So you might even take your feet a little wider. That happened for me. You root down. And then you rise, arms to the sky. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, look out. And the right foot back. Take yourself up to low or high lunge. You root. From the rooting action, there's a rising, prana rising up. You can do the welcoming arms. I welcome inspiration. It's an intention that we hold through our posture and we express it. Perhaps you are inspired to take the arms up. Exhale, fold over the front leg again. Bow in. Now stay with me here. We're going to do a half step forward or float the right leg up. Half step forward or float it up. And then go backwards again. Backwards, hands come to the floor. Left leg meets right. And we're in the downward face dog. Did you get that? Okay, flowing forward into plank. Exhale down to the earth. Cobra or up dog with an inhale, ujjayi breath. Use those shoulder rolls back. Poke your heart forward and up. And then we're back downward facing Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Claw the floor, root to rise. This is a push, but can you also pull from the earth into yourself? Breath here. Ujjayi breath. Relax your face, your jaw, your throat. Receive. Walk, stamp, or light jump. Meet at front forward fold. Uttanasana. Push down, rise up, root. Stand as if the wind might knock you over and you rise. And land hands to heart. Pause to feel. Before we roll to the other side, sit back in chair again in the wonderment, the waiting, the welcoming arms. Notice if you're holding your arms up with your shoulders, you can relax them down and lift from underneath. Yes, palms open in receptivity. Eyes turn to the horizon, or as you poke yourself in the back of the heart and you open the back bend a bit, you look beyond the horizon, higher than the horizon. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifted heart. Left foot steps back, taking your time to root, rise. Move your diaphragm to raise your arms up. You can go through the waiting, the wonderment. And when you feel inspired, you expand and rise up. And bow over the right leg for a moment here. Prepare either left foot half step forward or float left leg. Root into the earth, the right leg strong, left leg goes up. And go backwards again. You step back, plant your hands, you've got 2 feet together, flow. Inhale, forward plank, down to the earth, up to cobra or up dog, and back, downward face. Pause to feel. more breath here where you are. And move along the path to the front of the mat. Bow forward when you get there. Push down to rise. And hands to the heart again. So now we know the flow. Let's do it again. We're going to lead with the left foot this time, just to mix it up. We almost always lead with right. Let's start with left. I hope I can remember the sequence doing it that way. All right, let's take a little stretch for our shoulders before we go. Can you get your hands behind your back or get your strap? Root. And draw the low ribs in on the exhale so you can puff up your back. Inhale, bend the knees. Root, rise, lift through the back of the heart, to the front of the heart, lift the back of the skull, perhaps look up. And exhale, fold forward over your legs, drawing the belly back as if you're cocooning into yourself. Bend your right knee, look to the left. Center, bend the left knee, look to the right. Center and bow, release those arms. Starting with left foot back. Root to rise, high lunge. Add your own inspirations here with arm movements that inspire heart opening and stability so we can open from the inside out. Bow over the front leg, straighten it a moment. Float the back leg up. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, crawl backwards again. Now this right leg, it could meet left or go all the way up to the sky. And you can move through your vinyasa creative ways. Inhale. Meeting in downward face dog or resting when needed. We're not sure what we're doing. One more breath. Push and pull, push and pull. Left foot's coming forward between the hands. Root to rise into your high lunge. You go to the waiting, the wonderment, the welcoming. Perhaps you unfold a bit. Bow over the front leg. Left leg straightens. And pause there. Waiting. Welcoming. Bend the knees, push down, float the right leg up. And then go back. Plant your hands, walk back. The left foot goes back and up. And perhaps use that leg for some counterbalance going forward in a plank into the earth, into a back bend. And we meet again in downward face dog. Claw the floor and push the earth till you feel the rebound. And then pull in a little more. Pull through those lines. So you have a balanced action. You do have to push in downward dog, but you want to be receptive as well. You don't have to harden. Walk, step, or jump, knee at the front. Push down, rise. Return to center. Now closing the eyes, standing to feel in your mountain pose. If you feel off balance, feel free to open eyes. Thank you. Shall we change it up a bit now? Step back with your right foot. That's it. Sorry, I have a little cut on my toe and I was just checking it out. Step back with your right foot and turn to face the long side of your mat. You would like to have a block. Let's start with feet turned out. If it's very uncomfortable to do so, or your knees don't seem to want to do that, bring your feet closer, and turn out. When we turn out, we tend to tuck our tail under, soften at the frontal groins while turning out. So there's a little bit of space. If you tuck a lot, you're going to get locked into position. So there's a place where you'll feel there's a little more give. And then you go into the wide space, and taking your feet apart. And you check your knee bend here. You want to track your knees with your toes. You don't want them tracking with your inner arch. So sometimes we need to adjust the stance for that until you can really feel that your inner knees are going toward your feet. A way to help that is to scoop the outer legs downward. And hug in with the shins strong. There we go. Knees are going wide. Sit down. Sit down. Take the W, the wonder. What are we doing this for? Pushing into the earth, we root. And from that energy, we rise up. Root to rise. Draw the tail down. Lift the heart. Find inspiration here. Inhale, rise, open like a star. Shine out, stretch out. And back down. Hands to the heart here. Inhale, right elbow toward right thigh. Open the arms wide. Bring it back to center. Inhale to center. Exhale, left elbow toward left thigh. Open the arms wide. Bring it back to center. Inhale, rise up like a star. Oh no. And release the arms. Heel toe the feet toward each other. Heel, toe, till you're in your neutral stance. Shoulders roll. All right, remember when we were doing knee to elbow on hands and knees? We're gonna try it again. You might like something to stabilize you, like a wall, a table, something like this. Or we practice, and practice sometimes means we fall, right? All right, so you remember we were on hands and knees and we did opposite knee to elbow underneath, and we get this cocooning, drawing in effect. And then that will give us the possibility of opening up. But right now we're going to draw in. Here we go. Inhale here and underneath. Right knee to left elbow. And then we open. Right knee, left elbow. You know what to do. Inhale, opposite arm and elbow. Inhale, opposite arm. Keep going. Now, it's a little easier when we fold down, elbow to knee, right? Kind of do a little compression there. Try to stay upright and lift the knee toward the elbow. That's a little different. Cross the midline. Perhaps meeting in the midline. Keep going. Slow or fast, try to make the connection. I'm finding that if I inhale big, I can do exhale, keep exhaling. All right, pause. And just let the feet support you as your center rotates on the center, and your arms can just swing. And you're moving from this center that we just are activating here. Right, so we could do that in a downward dog or plank type position too, where we bring the knee toward the opposite elbow, things like that. Right, but this is a really nice way to build that core awareness while balancing and not using our wrists. Okay, so this time we're going to do it in the W. And this time you're going to bring knee to same elbow. Inhale here, can sit down a little. All right, and start on your right. And then the left, knee to elbow. You might have to crunch down a little or a lot, but the idea is to lift the knee toward the elbow. You might slow it down, and that really causes you to exhale strongly. Use the strong Ujjayi exhale like so. Flex your foot. Try to hold. Press together. And try to hold. Press together. And release it. Swing your arms in front. Cross the opposite arm on top. Swing. You can just sway side to side. Swing. Cross the opposite arm. Cross. Opposite. Cross. Just sway. So the lower body's relaxing while the upper body's releasing. Now go front to back. Yeah. Crossing opposite arm. Front to back. 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 Hug. Whichever arm's on top. Sway. Just notice what the arm's on top. Go back to the twist, release the arms. Good. Back to center, sway, and cross arm in front, cross arm, go front to back, cross, cross, front to back. And you're gonna hug with the opposite arm on top. Can you remember? Can you do it? I think I got it. And sway, sway. So we're in the cocoon. Okay, we're hanging upside down. We're looking for inspiration. I don't know, what inspires the caterpillar to do that? It's nature. And then unfold your arms. Wrap your left arm behind your back and your right arm in front. So it looks like so. And cocoon in. So really wrap your arms, sit down in your chair a little bit and breathe there. So you should feel breath moving into the arms, pushing your shoulders up. Good, now open the arms wide and switch. You can stand and then sit back down and switch. Breathing here. So you feel the hug and you breathe into it. Yeah, the frontal ribs settle so the back ribs expand. One more breath. And then expand, unfurl, rise. Bring the hands down to the heart. Have a breath, connect. Great. And feet outer hip width. Now this time, I sometimes call this the quarterback position. I'll turn to the side. I'm not the only one, but anyway. So I want to get into the best alignment I can. There's that softness in the groins or rootedness, and then sit back and then bring the elbows forward to the knees. I actually want to turn to the front now. So here I have my elbows on my knees. And here, look, we're not doing this where my hips are really high, sit down. So it does take some sort of knee flexibility. Yeah, if it's too much, then stay up on the diagonal and you can just do it with your hands, right? Rather than getting your booty high and your chest low. There we go. Okay. Now you might be able to let the knees wider and slip the elbows inside the knees, squeeze there against your elbows, press out. And you also might be able to slide your forearms between the knees, the upper arms, press out with the upper arms and squeeze with the knees. And unfurl that. Oh, did you feel some action in your pelvis there and your low belly core? That means you're moving in the right direction. We're trying to pick up and activate power so that we can open up to fly in crow pose. It's my favorite when I want to get inspired and remind myself that I'm capable of maybe more than I thought, right? Like when I first started yoga, I was like, I can never do that. That looks like way too much strength. And then I found it. I found the balance point and I believed and I went for it. But you've got to have the mindset of possibility and belief that there's more, the possibility that there's more beyond that horizon, which we know on our earth, we're round, right? It doesn't just end on the horizon. You can keep going. So same thing here. I really recommend a soft landing pad for those people who have not found their way to the balance yet, but really like to practice. It gives you a softness. Some people even pile pillows, right? And it gives you a place to go. You need to have intention that you're going to take off. Just imagine the baby bird, right? And the mother makes a soft landing pad. Some people might even put a really big bolster, something like that. And then all that we've been practicing, take your W's, but then pull the elbows back and feel that hug behind your heart. So you've got your wings. Sit down in your chair. Lift the belly off the thighs as you fold. Take the knees wide, and you can stay here. Lift your heels for the balance. Or put the hands down, move the upper arms inside your knees again. Press the upper arms wide, claw the floor. Hug the knees, cocoon in, and perhaps as your heart moves forward, you will find your balance point and you can ride that wave. Breathe here, right? Breathing. Root, you rise. Why? Why do we do that? Bring yourself back down to earth. If you can't squat, you can come up to standing or hands and knees. Actually, go on hands and knees if you don't squat. And we'll repeat what we did in the beginning, right arm up. So you can do that from a squat or on hands and knees. And hand back down in squat or on hands and knees, left arm up. So it's similar, right? We always can adapt. We never have to put ourselves in a painful situation, a harmful situation. No, and then back down. So if you're in the squat, you can stay there. If you're on hands and knees, go back to the chair. So that you'll practice coming into the pose from chair or balancing in a chair. You could lift your heels, or we can try it from down low. I'm going to reach up again. And when I bring my arm down, this time I'm going to press my outer arm against the knee and press the knee to the arm, plant the hand. Same thing on the other side. Plant, claw, believe. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, coming up on tippy toes, hug your core. Lean into the finger pads a little, claw the floor, and believe. Breathe. The why, the wonderment, the welcoming. And we land again. Hands and knees are squat. If you're in squat and you want to walk your feet out a bit so that you can put your heels down, do that. If that doesn't work for you, don't do it. Breathing. Press your elbows out. If you're on hands and knees, circle your hips a bit. Move them toward your heels and forward again. If you're in squat, quiet contemplation time, breathing here. If you're on hands and knees, you can unfold yourself. And if you're in squat, same, you can unfold, and we'll meet in a forward fold here. Turn the feet forward. Lift and spread the toes and then lay them down again. Release your head and neck. Roll the shoulders a few times. And you can walk to the front of the mat, staying low. And move props out of the way or into place as we're going to come down onto our backs. Did you fly today? If not, and you're interested in it, the things we did today will build your pathways. Put the feet on the floor and just relax, and then take the arms up to the sky above your heart. Have the hands separate. Cross the hands so the backs of the hands are against each other, and the right arm is the one that could touch your face there. So the right arm is facing your face. So you crossed, then turn the palms again so you can interlace. Then stretch out your wrists a bit. If you didn't get that, just stretch one wrist and then the other. Might have been a little complex for this point in the practice. Kind of making that fishtail. Reach the arms up, reach back. Arms are on the floor. Cross the right knee over the left. And bring the right knee across. So you're in a bit of a twist. If you didn't get the hand thing, you can just have the backs of the hands pressing again. Unfurl the legs, uncross, and bring the knees up to your chest. Release the hands and wrap yourself up in a hug. And bring the knees down, arms to the sky. So this time cross the left one across. Backs of the hands are together. Now turn so the palms of the hands face and you interlace. Got that? Okay. Then you can wiggle your wrists. If you didn't get the arm cross, don't worry about it and just bend your wrists and stretch your wrists. Yeah, that's it. Use your own hand to massage your other hands. It's great. Then you're going to reach back. Maybe just the backs of the hands are together or you have that interlace. Left leg over right and the knees come down to the right. Breathe well. Uncross the knees. Bring them up to center. Release the arms. Give yourself a big hug. Straighten out the legs as much as they'll go, perhaps wrapping your arms around the legs. And do a little sit up, hugging in toward your core. And finally, lowering down into a restful position, a Shavasana. Perhaps you keep your knees bent or drape them over a bolster, or come down all the way with your legs stretched out. Let's all take our hands behind our neck and just cradle the neck and the base of the skull. So your thumbs are down on the neck and the palms are gently cradling the back of the skull. Breathe there. Give yourself a little traction, gentle. Release your hands from behind your head. You can rest your arms in a W position or any position that's comfortable for you. Enjoy a few more breaths as we're lying here. You might feel like you just want to stay in this sweet spot. Do so. You might turn the volume down or just leave the Zoom. Just leave it. If you're ready, just slowly bending the knees and roll to one side like you are still curled up inside that space. Take it the time you need to rise. Go slowly, taking yourself up into a comfortable seat. And then again, root down to rise, roll the shoulders back and lift through the back of the skull. Notice what came through. Welcoming arms again. Very slowly bring the hands toward each other with no hurry. And as they come toward each other, slow down until they're about a fist width apart. And wait and sense and feel the hands just barely apart, space between them filled with prana. Sense and feel it. As you bring the hands to the heart, that energy is tucked in. Thumbs to the sternum, and we close with a gentle Om. Inhale. Om. Namaste. Thank you all for being here today. Hope you can get out and enjoy the weather. And maybe we'll have some rain again. I'll see you next week. And let me know if you do want to join on March 13th. Thanks all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.